What's up, ninjas? Welcome to Yoga with Dojo Cat. I'm Kat. I'm a brown belt and coach in Bang Muay Thai, a blue belt in In-Fight Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I'm certified to teach yoga. I have had a day. We're not going to talk about it, but we are just going to do a flow that's going to kind of burn the legs a little bit and strengthen them up, and then we'll stretch them out. So you'll be feeling pretty good at the end of this. So I need it. I'm sure you might need it too. Anyways, let's get into it. It's fun. Everything's fun. Whew. All right. So we're just gonna begin an easy pose. So grounding down evenly in our sit bones, nice straight spine. You might see my lights flickering. It's probably just a ghost. It's fine. Okay, let's just circle our necks. Going both directions. We'll circle our wrists. Just feeling out all the clicks, making sure everything's warmed up. We'll roll our shoulders up and then down away from our ears. And other direction. Okay, we'll inhale our hands up. And then on our exhale, we'll twist over to the right, placing our left hand on our right knee and looking behind us. Okay, you can release the twist and we'll inhale and go to the other side. You can release your twist. We'll just open our legs out into a V in front of us, as wide as you can go, but that's comfortable. You don't want to push yourself too far. We'll inhale our hands up, shift our torso over to the left, and then drop down, grabbing onto our left foot, getting a nice stretch in this leg. And release that, come back up. Inhale those hands to the sky. Exhale, folding forward, down the middle. Release the stretch and the last side. So inhale those hands up, shift your torso over to the right, lower yourself down on your right leg. Okay, you can come back up. We're gonna go into puppy pose. So it's really similar to child's pose, but the difference is that instead of letting our hips melt down towards the heels, we're actually gonna stack our hips on top of our knees here. Extend those hands out and then lower your chin to the mat. If you want, you can use a block too if you have one available. And just tuck your chin on it. Come up onto your knees, get rid of that block, and we'll go into dolphin pose. So stack your elbows underneath your shoulders and then come up onto your toes. And then you're gonna lift your tailbone up to the sky and then kind of tiptoe your toes inwards so your body makes an A shape. And then just like down dog, relax your neck in between your biceps. Try to melt your heels to the mat. Okay, you can lower yourself to your knees. Now we're gonna press up into downward facing dog. So curl your toes, lifting those hips up. If you want to get some movement going, you can pedal your feet, turn your hips over. Or you can find stillness. You can hop, step, or float to bring your feet behind your hands and then rise into mountain pose. Bring your hands to heart center. Ground into your right foot and step back with your left foot, turning that foot so that it's parallel. Make sure your knee is stacked directly over top of your ankle and that your hips are trying to face the front leg here. We'll open our arms out for warrior two. If you take a wider stance, you'll get a nicer burn in that front leg. Shift forward, flip that palm, and reverse that warrior. So you can place your hand on the back of your leg, or you can take a bind, wrapping that other arm around your lower back. Make sure that you're maintaining the bend in that front leg. You can release that back into warrior two, straighten that front leg, shift forward, lower yourself down, triangle pose. Okay, come back up into triangle, hands on your hips, and you're actually gonna turn your toes. I'm gonna face you so you can see this. So hands on your hips, turn your toes so that they're facing directly forwards. If they're at an angle, I just want you to bring them in. Take a nice deep breath in. And on your exhale, fold forward. We're gonna let our hands hang under our shoulders for a second here. After a couple breaths, we'll take our hands and walk in between our legs here, pulling ourselves closer to ourselves. Oh God. Okay, you can come back to center. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice straight back, gaze forward, and exhaling back into that forward fold. Okay, bring your hands up and rise all the way back up. Turn your left foot so that it's facing forward, and now it's bisecting your right foot. Open those hands up, warrior two. One more really important thing in warrior two is make sure that your knee is pressing out. I see a lot of people have a tendency to point their knees in or to have their knees caving in, but that's not good for your knee joints, so just press it out. Flip that palm and reverse your warrior. Back into warrior two, straighten that front leg, shift forward, lower your left hand to your left leg and look up at your right arm for triangle pose. And come back up, hands on your hips, turn those toes to both face forward. Nice big breath in. Exhale, lower yourself into wide-legged forward fold. Okay, crawl those hands in between your legs. And come back. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Hands on your hips, rise all the way back up and come back into mountain. We're gonna go into balancing pose now. So ground into your right foot. Pick up your left foot, grab onto your ankle with your left hand, and you can put your foot right in your inner thigh here if you like. There's also an option to just place it on the calf or using it as a kickstand on the mat if you need a little bit of help with your balance, as long as your foot isn't on your knee joint. So just choose wherever you want to go here. And then you can either keep your hands at heart center or you can open your arms up. And the higher you get to bringing your hands to the top, the more difficult the pose will be. So just choose your own adventure here. Relax those shoulders down and away from your ears. If you struggle with balance, find something on the floor in front of you to focus on, and that'll help a lot. You can release your arms down and your foot to the mat. Give yourself, pedal your feet out a little bit here. I don't know why, but my feet always cramp. I don't know if anybody else will do that. If you do, let me know in the comments. Anyways, we'll go to the other side. So ground into that left foot, pick your right foot up, grab onto that ankle, put your foot wherever you want it, and then choose where you want your hands to be. You might notice that your balance is shakier on one side than the other. That's totally normal. My balance is a little weaker on this side, but that's okay. It's just something to work on. Always up working on that progression. And bring your hands down, release that foot to the floor. Just get some movement in those legs. Okay, I'll turn to the side. We're gonna go into chair pose. So again, if balance isn't your strong suit, the more space you have in between your feet, the easier this pose will be for you. So you can have your big toes touching if you like. It all just depends on where you are. And then we're gonna sink back as if we're sitting in an invisible chair, making sure our knees aren't going over top of our toes and our weight is in our heels. You can have your arms extended out like this if you like, or you can bring your hands to heart center. Nice deep breaths. This is a challenging pose. Okay, lower yourself all the way down to your bum. I'm a jujitsu person. If you don't do jujitsu, you just slap your hands like this to distribute your weight. It's called a safety fall. It's important to learn. You should maybe pencil that in. Okay. We'll just go into a seated forward fold here. So legs together in front of you. Inhale, hands up. Exhaling, folding forward. Grabbing onto your feet, your shins. Whatever's comfortable for you. All right, last pose before we go into Shavasana. Let's extend our arms in front and lower ourselves one vertebrae at a time until we're flat on our backs. We'll bring our knees up, take our hands, reach in between them, grab on the outside of your foot, and then lean back into happy baby, pulling your knees into your armpits. You can stay right here if you want, or if you want to massage your lower back on your mat, you can rock side to side. This is my favorite pose to make the class do. It's just funny seeing all these big tough fighters rocking and happy baby. You can release those. Let's just bring our knees in. One big hug. Then we'll extend our arms overhead, stretch our legs. And then you can bring your hands beside your hips for Shavasana. Just take this time to soak in all your hard work that you just did. You may have had a day like I had, but what matters is that you showed up for yourself today to take care of your muscles. Okay, you can wiggle your fingers and your toes, just waking yourself back up. Extend your right arm overhead. Bring your knees up and turn over until you're in a fetal position. So stay here for a couple breaths. You can press yourself up and we'll just come back into easy pose. All right, that's it. You did it. No matter what kind of day you just had, you just took that time, and that's amazing. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for joining me today. I'll see you next time. Os.